Yo, Pierre, you want to come outside to the 48th episode of the Purple Rain podcast with Simply AS10 and Sutton Def? I know I do. Welcome back to episode 48, the Patrick Queen episode. We're here, we're alive, we're great. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Like you said, we're
Okay.
here, we're alive. Draft is behind us now,
It
so there
is. It
is,
is.
needless to say, a ton to talk about
So
between
much.
us
So
and the
much.
Rain Gang. So, like my guy Alex said, thank you guys so much for watching episode 48 of the Purple Rain podcast. I am Sutton Def. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Sutton Def. Right up there, how you see it down below. And then
Oh,
my guy is Simply AS10, the hard working Simply
oh,
AS10.
thank
You can
you.
find
Thank you.
him. Yeah, you can find him on Twitter at simplyas10 or on Instagram at
Yes.
simplyas10.prod. And big shout out to him for putting up all those highlight videos. How many was it exactly that you did in
It
like the past
was
week?
it was 91, I believe. 91 if you want to count Jacoby
Jeez.
Jones trolling the Browns fans. 'Cause I absolutely love that. Loved it.
Jeez. I did see that video. I saw you posted that one too.
Yeah.
But make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to the
Thank
Simply
you.
AS10 YouTube channel. He just hit 20K. So that is
Finally.
huge. That is huge. Big shout out to all of you guys who are supporting the Simply AS10
Yes.
channel.
And
He
and here.
deserves it. He's been working so hard, man.
Hey, thank you so much. And I think we deserve it too. I mean, our stream past Thursday, that first round, it was a grind. But
Oh
I
yeah.
want to thank everybody again for coming out, showing love. It was a good time. And if you didn't watch it, you can go to our last episode. I forget who timestamped the Bateman pick, but we were both hyped. And then at the
Yeah.
end, we were just very tired, very out of it, and we were just saying things that didn't make any sense. I I for one. But thank you for everybody coming through because that was just 4 hours of just madness,
Oh
absolute
yeah.
madness.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. Madness indeed. I see the Rain Gang is in the chat.
Oh, let's
Real quick, guys, go ahead, like the video. You know what I mean? Like the video. Let's get that out of the way early. There's some, housekeeping things. But I see the Rain Gang is in full effect tonight. We got our guy Pix3X is in the building. Anonymous is in the building. Says
oh,
Patrick Queen episode. Yep, that's right.
yes,
Episode 48. This is the Patrick Queen episode. So that means this episode is dedicated to Patrick Queen.
yes, yes.
Del Felix says, yo. Spiritual Dub says, yo.
Yo, yo,
D Money is in the building. Send off is here. We got a couple of new faces. Couple of new faces in
welcome.
here. Welcome to the Rain Gang. We appreciate you guys for coming through. Our guy King is in the house. KLA Sports is here as
Oh,
well. Smoke Game. Everybody's here tonight, man. Big
the
shout
whole
out to you
family's here.
guys. Yeah, man. You guys are going crazy tonight. Luke
Oh
Ventura
yeah.
says, yo, what's good, bro? Void is in the chat here. Got a guy Boz says congrats on
Ah,
20K at Simply AS10.
thank you,
Yeah,
my
man.
friend. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. What's up, Exley? All right, guys. So a lot to talk about. Obviously,
Yes.
the draft is behind us, like I said, and the Ravens they made some moves. Now,
Oh,
w- just
oh,
let's get it out of the way. Was it the perfect draft? No, it wasn't the
hell
perfect
no.
draft.
Mm-mm. No.
But was it a good draft? I think there was a lot of positives to take from what happened on Thursday to Saturday night. Wouldn't you agree, Alex, or no?
100%. And if I could have one takeaway,
Mm,
Eric DaCosta said, "We are not building, we are building to win. We are taking
yeah.
BPA. We're ready to win the damn championship." And I loved it. Some of the picks I had questions about, but when you go back and think about it, we didn't reach. Maybe on OA. That's the only one I could think of. But every other one, I loved it.
Mm,
And I know
mm,
I was the day two. I was like, why is Aziz Ojulari still on the board? And they're just saying injury concerns. I get that, but I still wish
yeah.
he was in purple and black. I really do.
Oh
The
yeah.
one that got away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our guy Rush, Mod Rush is in the building. Big shout out to Rush. Thank you for joining the stream, bro. Hey, and Taquan Christian is in the
Oh,
building too. Shout out to you, Taquan. Thank you for
thank
joining the
you.
stream. Cam Neal. I see you guys. Appreciate you guys for coming through. But yeah, man. Wow, it was a lot. It was a lot to take
Yeah,
in, and
madness.
I yeah, madness to say the least. And it's interesting that you brought up Jason Owe being a reach. Listen, guys, we're gonna break
Yeah,
down
yeah,
every single pick that the Ravens made here in a second, and we really want you guys' input more than anything. So we're gonna go pick by pick, and we're actually gonna play a little game that we like to call. Let's not act like we made up this name, but
yeah.
we like to call it Like It, Love It, or Hate It. A
Simple.
little game called Like It, Love It, or Hate It. Simple as that.
And let's just get the chat. It's just gonna be interactive tonight. One of those
Yeah.
type of laid back chill. I'll be honest. If it wasn't for my own dad, I would not be here right now. I almost overslept the show tonight. Try to catch up with some sleep, but we're here, so thank you to that. But it's gonna be really chill. We can all talk about the picks, and let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it. So, like it, love it, or hate it. We're going to go through every single draft pick the Ravens made, and we want you, the Rain Gang, if you're watching live, if you're not watching live, put down in the comments whether you like it, love it, or hate it beside each draft pick. So, and real quick disclaimer, just because we're saying like it, love it, or hate it, if we say that we hate a pick, it doesn't mean that we hate the guy, we hate the player that we pick. Maybe we just don't like the Ravens picking it, that position in that spot, or for scheme. Maybe it's just not a good fit in our eyes. And of course, we're not the professionals, we're not the front office guys, but we're here to speculate.
I mean, if they want us,
hey, man,
we'll be open.
By all means, but yeah, we're gonna go through the list, guys, and Alex, I'm gonna go through and just kind of bring up the names on the screen. I want to get your initial reactions, like it, love it, or hate it. I'll let you know whether I like it, love it, or hate it, and then we'll get our opinions from the Rain Gang. So let's go ahead and just kick it off. Like it, love it, or hate it. You guys know the first one is, man. Wide receiver Rashad Bateman is what we picked at number 27. You love it?
Love it. And I know I wanted TMJ before, but I gotta realize Eric DeCosta knows a lot more football about me. And I think some people won't admit that. Just because that you think you know football, bro, these front office guys, they have more resources than all of us combined. So I'm taking his word. I love it. We're building around our MVP quarterback. Finally. And I was actually looking at today. We don't have the worst receiving corps. I actually love our receiving corps right now. You want to talk about bad receiving corps? Let's go down to New Orleans. They got Michael Thomas, and that's about it. So we cannot complain about receivers because this team has finally started to build around our franchise QB who, let's be real, he's going to get an extension, and I can't wait for it. But he also is wearing number 12 this year. It kind of reminds me of Allen Robinson a little bit. Maybe we have Allen Robinson right now. But I love it, and I actually got to get his jersey. I got to order that ASAP.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, Rashad Bateman, I would say that I like this pick. I'm not going to say I love it.
You can
I'm
say
not gonna say I love it.
You can say, bro, that reaction
like
that said you loved it. That reaction was you loved it.
I mean, I loved it, but there were certain things, like for me to say that I love a pick, I think it has to be a 100% perfect fit.
Okay.
And I think that Rashad Bateman is a really, really good fit for our offense. He's a guy who's a route technician. We're going to play against a lot of zone defenses because we have Lamar Jackson at quarterback. This is a guy who can get behind the zone, find the soft spots in the zone, and get open for Lamar and kind of be able to bail him out of situations. Yeah. He also comes back to the ball. You know what I mean? He can play a little bit of that backyard football style. So that, I really like those things about Rashad Bateman. I think he's a good fit in that regard. The only drawback, and this is the reason why, like we said, we wanted Terrace Marshall Jr. over Rashad Bateman. I think the size, and we talked about it here on this show. Like, the taller the receiver, the better it is for Lamar. Statistically, his quarterback rating when throwing to taller receivers is a lot higher, and it goes in sequential order, going from tallest to shortest, best quarterback rating to worst quarterback rating. So with that being said, I thought that we might have went out and got a big body guy. That's the phrase that a lot of Ravens fans have used. A big body receiver. Rashad Bateman isn't necessarily that, but I do know that he plays a little bit bigger than his size is. Not too much, but he can make some contested catches. But I like the pick. I don't love it for that.
Fair enough. What's the Rain Gang saying? Because I saw a lot of love-its at first. A lot of love-its. I can't get mad at that. We addressed the need. In our mocks, we had us taking Terrace Marshall Jr. They took Bateman. It was always between one of those two. But what surprised me off topic was Kadarius Toney being the fourth receiver off the board. I was not expecting that. That threw me off. Yeah, for sure. So the Rain Gang sounding off in the chat. The general consensus is you guys love this pick. KLA Sports says love it, fell right into our laps and amazing value. You make a valid point there, KLA, because Rashad Bateman was never supposed to make it to 27. At least not like in all the mocks, like 3 weeks, or prior, or leading up to the draft, at least like 3 weeks in, everybody had Rashad Bateman going 22 or lower
pretty much. So
Yeah.
it didn't really seem like he was gonna fall to us. And the fact that he did, I kind of did like. That's why I love that we took him there. But I don't know. It's just the fit is where I more so like it than love it. Let's see what else you guys have here. Asmodeus comes through with our first super chat donation of the evening. Thank you so much, Asmodeus. I know, right? Asmodeus says, Mickey D's, I'm loving it. So he's loving the Rashad Bateman pick. He's loving it, man. And Asmodeus, tell us what you're loving about the Rashad Bateman pick. I would love to know. And thank you so much for your super chat donation. All right, let's see what else we have. TTB Ravens Media in the house says, what's up, Rain Gang? What's up, guys?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Appreciate you guys for coming through and joining the stream tonight. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to their channel as well. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, TMJ, Terrace Marshall Jr., he just has size, but the skill set favors Bateman by a wide margin, and he plays big. Okay. I like it. I like it.
Playing big is something that is just not taught. It's really not. And I'd rather have a player that plays big than a big player that plays small, i.e. Miles Boykin. Sorry.
Yeah.
I hope he makes team and breaks out, but that's just speaking facts right now.
Man, it's sad to say, right? It's sad.
Yeah.
But let's see. Lunch Break Hot Take is also in the building. Big shout out to those guys over there. Make sure you guys sub to their channel as well. It says,
I saw them. They had their stream too. I don't know how you guys did it. I think I saw the day one stream was enough for me, but streaming again, I don't know how people did it. Oh man, I was knocked out after day one.
Oh yeah, I was burned out the next day, man. Dude. I was burned out.
Dude, I was in my class the next day. I just did not want to talk. I just had on like a hood. I'm like, bro, like I want to go back to sleep.
Right. Real quick, we have over 100 people watching live right now. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream and rocking out with the Rain Gang tonight. You guys know we're talking everything Ravens draft and even some more, NFL teams. A lot of interesting stuff happened in the draft, and we're talking all of it tonight. So big shout out to you guys for coming through. And like our guy K-Dog says, Mod K-Dog, smash that like button. Smash that like button, guys. We would appreciate it, and it helps us out a ton. So we're going to go ahead and bring up this. We got another Super Chat donation coming from Josh Hoffman. Josh, my guy. Josh, thank you. Josh Hoffman. We appreciate you, bro. He says, all this forgetting the curse of the Ravens wide receiver picks is post-draft highs. And if next year at this time we're talking wide receiver needs, EDC is in a tight spot. Do you agree with that?
I have to agree 100%. But first off, what I like about this is, you know how in the previous years it'd be like, oh, it's Antoine Wesley against Jaleel Scott for the final roster spot. Mm-hmm. No, not anymore. It is big name guys. It is first, fourth round guys battling. Now it's going to be James Prochet and Miles Boykin, I guess, battling for the last spot in our receiving core, because the guys we drafted now, they're gonna make the team. Yeah. And the competition is getting stiffer and stiffer, and I love it. EDC is saying we're gonna have the best of the best, and this is putting even more pressure on Greg Roman. There is no excuses now to just have those vanilla, absolute terrible wide receiving routes and just schemes.
Yeah, Alex, and I think that's a fabulous point that you make there, because like iron sharpens iron, you know what I mean? Like you want to have the best competition,
like our secondary,
in that wide receiver. Look
at our secondary. We always get so much depth, and they make each other better. Why not the same for the receivers?
Exactly. So I love that point, and thank you so much, Josh, for donating to the channel. We appreciate you so much. We have another super chat donation coming in from our guy Asmodeus again. Thank you so much, man. He says he's someone who fights for his quarterback and terrific route runner. Remember, we were a playoff team until we got Anquan Bolden. I think Bateman is that dude.
Go up there and get the damn ball. 50-50 ball, he's winning it. And that's all we can really ask for, because that's what we need. 3rd and 5, we throw a back shoulder fade, which we never throw any of, at Greg Roman. Start doing it. Maybe we'll see.
Oh, we got our guy, Jose Verduzco is in the building. It says, sup, Rain Gang? What's up, my man? Jose in the building, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel tonight as well, man.
Everybody's in here. Let's just be real. Everybody's in here.
Big shout out to everybody, all Ravens YouTube, man. Let's see. And thank you again, Asmodeus, for your super chat donation. But just kind of wrapping it up here on the whole Rashad Bateman thing. Yes. With the addition of Rashad Bateman, by the way, now we have our receiving core I like to call the Sinister Six. We have numbers
Okay.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16
Love
on
it.
our receiving core. And that's just kind of beautiful. That's beautiful.
15's gonna break out this year.
Yeah,
Just know that.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully we get some more. Hopefully we get a breakout from 16 as well. And 16 is another one we're going to talk about in
Of
just a couple
course.
minutes.
You were
Yeah,
high on him.
I
This
was
meant you
very high
texted
on
me
him.
right when we got him, so we can talk all about that. But
Yeah.
next up, it is not Jason Owe anymore. No. Odafe Owe. I hope I said that right. Hope I did.
Well, for
you have
these
Jason.
purposes, yeah,
Okay,
we'll put Jason.
for these purposes, we'll put Jason
Yeah.
Owe, Odafe Owe. When we first drafted him, we're like, bro, why? Just
Yeah.
why? And looking back at it now, I like it. Don't love it, don't hate it. I like it. I'm not gonna say why, but what would you give this?
Oh man, I think I really wanted to say that I liked this pick, but I'm gonna have to say, oh man, I
hate it?
really don't want to say I hate it either.
You can say it. You can say it.
I'm gonna say I hate it. I'm
There
gonna
we
say
go.
I hate the pick,
There we go.
and I don't think that Jason Owe is a bad player.
No.
I just think that in terms of somebody who's going to come in and make more of an immediate impact, I think we could have benefited from, an Aziz Ojulari or one of those other guys who were still on the board at that time. But I understand it. The only reason why I don't hate it is because I understand that he's a decent fit for our defense. He's a guy who you can kind of like plug and play. He can play in the, he can play in like a 3-4 set. He can play with his hand in the dirt. Or standing over tackle, like I was saying, and he has a lot of potential, and he's a freak athlete. I think that's the biggest thing. He's a speed guy, and I think more than anything, and I think Eric DeCosta actually mentioned this in the press conference before. They want to build that defense with speed. They want to build that entire team with speed. Look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Hollywood Brown. But they want to build up that defense with speed. And smart guys who are athletic, so they know where to go and they know how to get there. They have the ability to get there very quickly. That's what Jason Owe is, but he lacked production, and that's why originally in my knee-jerk reaction was like, hey, I hate this pick. You want to know why? Because like we just gave away somebody who doesn't give up sacks to a team that we can't get pressure on the quarterback, and then we draft an edge rusher in the first round who didn't get any sacks last season. So it's like that was why I was kind of like, kind of skeptical about the pick, but I think that long term, I like the pick. I think that he could probably mold into our defense, and I think Jonathan Washington Jr. agrees here. He says long term, I like the pick. Short term, not the biggest fan of it. Owe has the athletic abilities to make an impact. He needs to work on his technique. Hopefully, Houston is here to teach him things. That would be nice. We still haven't signed Justin Houston.
I hope so. I thought it was gonna happen today. It would have been nice for the show today, but I'm gonna like it. And talking about those freak athletes, I saw somebody say it's like the DK Metcalf of like defense.
Right.
And that kind of I was thinking, DK Metcalf went second round to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
What Owe has, you cannot teach. And I kind of went back, just like looked at what he did. He's gonna be amazing stopping the run. He was setting the edge, which we really weren't doing last year, because we had Ngakoue and he didn't make that much of an impact. Judon, obviously, we knew he was going to go. He wasn't coming back. But I just like what he can bring athletically. And I'm 100% confident in Anthony Weaver, our new D-line coach. Hopefully he'll be working with him.
Yeah.
He got to the quarterback when he was with us. So we have these coaches that can teach them. The same reason how I feel with Bateman. We have these coaches that can teach them. That's what they're there to do, to coach. So I'm not going to say I love it because I don't. I like it because what he can be, the type of player he can be a monster. So I'm just going to like it for now.
Okay, I respect that. And I think probably the thing that I like about him the most is that he is a speed guy, and I know he can make it to like any point on the field like very quickly in a timely manner, and that's important. The Ravens are known for rallying to the football, gang tackles, things like that. That's why you see a lot of that in the Ravens' history. If you watch a lot of our defensive plays or highlights, they want guys who will pursue the football, and I think Jason Owe can be molded into that guy because he already has the physical abilities to do it.
And this is completely off topic. We've only taken 2 edge rushers before in the first round, Terrell Suggs and Peter Bulwer. How do they turn out? Let's hope he follows the trend.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, let's see what else we have from you guys about Jason Owe. How are you guys
Yeah, let us
feeling
know.
about it? Cam Neal
112 people
says,
watching, so thank you for
"Oh
everybody.
yeah, thank you guys so much." Cam Neal says, "Odafe Owe hated initially. Now I like it. He's disruptive. The potential is a love, but the possibility of it being a Clowney 2.0 situation is what I hate."
That's facts. But let's hope, he's out of Penn State. Let's hope he just gives it all, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, Clowney was the number one pick. He's a first-round pick, but not number one. So let's just hope that we can get some production out of him. But I still want Justin Houston to come in and kind of mentor him, and have McPhee as well mentor him.
Yeah, definitely. Mallow226 says, "What up, Rain Gang? What's up, Mallow? Thank you for joining the stream tonight." Yeah. A couple of other you guys. Void says he loves the pick. Anonymous gives it a B. I just feel like there were other guys on the board that just, I don't know. They would have been a better win now fit.
If Ojulari didn't drop so far, I could say the same thing. But he dropped so far for a reason.
What reason do you think that was?
They said injuries.
Okay.
In the same way, the guy, I think JOK, he has a heart condition. That's why he dropped so far to the Browns.
Oh yeah, we watched him drop all night. I remember that.
Yeah, he was like the top rate, the BPA for since I think it was pick 16 and on. It was always him.
Yeah. Let's see. We got KLA Sports says, "Like it, not a terrible pick, but I've seen his film and he gets pushed around, but he never gives up. We need Justin Houston next to him." And see, that's another thing that I was thinking as well. Like, I was fully expecting for us to draft like a young, raw edge talent, and that's what we did. But with that, I'm also fully expecting us to bring in a veteran. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Somebody who can kind of exactly. So we'll see what happens as of 4 p.m. today. That's May 3rd, 2021. Players can not players, but unrestricted free agents can go ahead and sign the teams without those teams losing their compensatory comp picks and things like that.
Yeah.
Ravens still haven't made any moves yet, but they may be soon.
Coming. I think expect a right tackle and an edge rusher. And we still got some beef with Miami for taking Jalen Phillips. That was I want him so bad. We both want him so bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Dylan Paul says, "I wanted Aziz over Owe." Me too, Dylan. But I think we can make Jason Owe work, man. Our guy G Money, Gerald Lawson in the house.
Oh,
big shout out to Gerald. He says, "Simply AS10 and Sutton Def. I believe this is going to be our best upcoming season. Yes, better than LJ's MVP season." Hey, the only thing better than that would be a Super Bowl, right?
G Money, what are you trying to say? Is G Money from the future?
He might be.
I think so.
He might be. We have another one. Christopher Swain says he loves it. Dude has great get off, some solid bend, and he's very excited for him. We are really good at developing defensive players. I have faith in him and our coaches. Wink and Weaver are going to get, I guess he continued it down below, get him right. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, we hired all these new coaches this offseason, and just what we drafted, it's like you have these new toys to work with.
Yeah.
We'll get more into it with the upcoming picks, but we can just leave it right there for the time being.
Yeah. We'll leave it there on Jason Owe. And, wrapping it up, good pick. I think it'll work better in the long term, but as of right now, at pick 31, it's like, Yeah. Left a little bit more to be desired at pick 31, not going to lie. Yeah. All right, so moving right along here, guys.
Didn't have a pick for a while.
We didn't have a pick for a while until 94 in round 3.
Waiting. And
waiting.
Jacoby Jones comes on out, does a little dance, throws a dig at the Browns fans in Cleveland, and then we draft Ben Cleveland.
Yes.
It was perfect. Perfect timing. Timing is everything. I love that.
Yeah.
What was your first initial?
Everything, man.
So, do you like it, love it, hate it?
Like it, love it, hate it. Ben Cleveland, man.
Big country.
One of those guys. I'm gonna go. I like it. I like it. I'm not gonna say I love it. Because I know he primarily plays right guard, and we have a Kevin Zeitler for that now. And I would have, kind of liked to see us get a left guard, since we can kind of assume now that Bozeman is going to be transitioning over to center.
Ben Powers.
Ben Powers,
Yeah.
yes, this is true. But I think that I really liked, the pickup of Ben Cleveland because he's so strong, man. He's a mountain
Mm-hmm.
of a man, and
Mm-hmm.
his ability to move a man is
Mm-hmm.
just incredible, man. And he's so nasty at the point of attack. I think that's what I like the most. He's the type of offensive lineman that defensive linemen don't want to see all game
Nope.
because he's mean, he's nasty, he's in your face, he's
He'll
tenacious,
throw you in the ground. You're gonna
and
have
he'll
dirt in
throw
between
you in
your
the ground.
face. Yeah.
Exactly. He reminds you that you're playing football and this is a dirty game, especially in the
A man's
trenches.
game. A
It's a
man's
man's
game.
game. Yes, yes. So yeah, man, I like the pick for that reason, but I kind of wished that we'd have got like a left guard. But what did you think though?
I liked it at first, but after
Hmm.
watching Brian Bautinger's analysis of him, I love it.
Hmm.
I was just watching when the way he was pulling, he was taking two guys with him. It was
Yeah.
absolutely disgusting. And I think he can play both guards. I'm pretty sure he can. But I have no worries. He'll be able to just fit on in. I mean, can you imagine J.K. Dobbins running behind him?
Hmm.
Honestly, it's going to be nasty. I
Yeah.
think out of all of our picks, this one is the one that he might be a starter week one. Depending how he does in training camp, he could be a starter.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Real quick, we have a super chat donation
Uh-oh.
coming in from our guy Gerald Lawson.
G
Thank you so
Money
much, man. He says
from
Super Bowl.
he pulled up from the logo. He just said,
Always, man.
"I'm throwing it up. Thank you." And I said, "He's right. He's from the future. He knows it."
Super Bowl on the way. And Gerald called it right here on the Purple Rain Podcast,
Yes.
episode number 48. Make sure you guys
Yes.
like the video and subscribe if you're new. Subscribe if
Yes.
you're new. We got tons to talk about, guys. Draft just wrapped up. We're still going to be signing free agents and things like that. So, we're going to be talking about it all here on the Purple Rain Podcast channel. So make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications too.
Right there.
Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast for all updates on Purple Rain and Raven as well. But I'm seeing you guys in the chat here saying that Ben Cleveland, he's lined up at left guard. He's played a little bit of left guard as well. That's awesome. That's awesome. I haven't, seen that from him in like a lot of the highlights and film that I've watched. But if you guys have seen that he plays some left guard too, and he can easily start there day one, then hey, I'm all for it because he is a monster. He's a monster. You know what? I think with the fact that you guys are telling me that, I have to look into it more. But if he's just as strong at left guard as he is at right guard, then hey, man, I love that pick.
There we
I love
go.
that pick.
There we go. There. Thank you.
I love that pick, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
After that, though, we have another super chat donation. This one
Okay.
is coming in from our guy Darius, the official.
Ah.
He says, "What's up, guys? Our wide receiver group is going to be a good one, and I feel like it's going to bring more competition to them and make each other step up their game." Yeah, you're
I think so
absolutely
too
right
because
about that.
it's not a lock to make the roster for some of these guys anymore. Prochet, Boykin, they're not locks anymore. I think Duvernay played his way into a starting position,
Right.
but wanted to make in the team. But those guys, we'll get more into. We'll bring this right back up when we
Yeah.
get into Wallace in round 4, I believe it was.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But big shout out to you, Darius. We appreciate you
Thank
so
you.
much as always. He's always donating. He's always coming through, always supporting. Big shout out to you, bro. We appreciate you.
Yes.
All right. So other words you guys have about Ben Cleveland. Ryan Bollinger says, yeah, he said he plays both. He said he plays
Perfect.
both in the interview. Ben
Perfect.
Cleveland is the mountain man. Yeah, man,
Perfect.
I really like that pick. I really like that pick. And he plays at Georgia. He played at Georgia. So that's a really good competition too. It's not like a
SEC.
super SEC, exactly. It's not like a super small school or anything like that, or a lesser known school where he's not going up against the same level of competition. No, like he's out there moving other NFL prospects. You know what I mean? Like, so I love that pick. I love that pick in short. Ben Cleveland, yeah, we love that. We love that for us.
And then
So,
our next pick, we
yeah.
had 2 third-round picks. Brandon Stevens out of SMU.
Brandon
Initially,
Stevens.
a lot of people did not like this pick.
Hmm.
I'll be honest, I didn't have a video made for him. I went and got one together. Very hard to find highlights on SMU. But I didn't like it at first. I hated it. But I was like, you know what? Let me just sit back and let me just not be just a reaction. Don't be so reactionary. I was like, wait, I heard he could play safety too. What do we need? We need some safety help too. Great special teamer. Used to be a running back. Obviously has speed. I like it. You can never have too many corners in the NFL. So that's just me. What do you think?
Oh man, I still am kind of indifferent about this pick.
I got
I'm
you.
not gonna lie to you. I just think that maybe I like the idea of having depth
Yeah,
at DB. And I don't know if my favorite tight end in the draft was still available at this time, Brevin Jordan.
he
I would have
was.
liked us. He
He was.
was.
He was.
Yeah, yeah,
He was. He went round 4, I think.
yeah. See, I would have loved to see us pick up Brevin Jordan at this spot in the draft. I mean, because we got another DB. You know, we got more DB help in this draft as well. So I don't know. I kind of hate this pick for that one. I kind of hate it for that.
That's understandable.
You know, and I like the fact that we're getting depth at corner, like I said, but
Because we lost Terrell Bonds. He was playing
Yeah.
corner for us last year. Jamal Williams is gone. There's 2
Yeah.
corners that we had on the field. They're gone now. So
but was this best player available at the time? Though is my
No.
question. You know, that's what
And
my
he-
issue is with it.
And here's my issue too. Is it because James Prochet said he was a good player? Because when we drafted Ben Mason, which we will talk about later, they said it was because it was like the Hardballs, like their favorite player. I don't care. Leave the family out. This is a business. They want to say it's a business any other time.
Yeah.
But when the coach, like, just because they like him does not mean he fits in our team. We'll get into that later, but yeah, this didn't make sense when there's other players that you could pick.
Yeah. Let's see. We have a couple of you guys here in the chat. Void says, love it, to be honest. A physical DB that we can move around the secondary who has size and reach. That is one thing I like about this guy is that, you know, I know he used to play running back, right?
Yep.
And then he transitioned to corner. I know he can play a little bit of safety as well. So the dude is just an overall athlete, you know.
Can't teach
And
that.
You can't teach that, you know. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why, you know, our front office and Eric DaCosta wanted to go ahead and pick him up because they want guys who they can kind of plug and play in certain situations. You know, they don't want guys who are just good at one or two things, you know. So I get it.
Kind of like
but
Patrick Ricard.
right, exactly. Kind of like Patrick Ricard. So I get it, but I just would have rather have seen us pick best player available, and I know there were some better available options at that specific point in time. But yeah, Andrew Sakara says, hated it, but thank God they picked up our Darius Washington, who I trust a hell of a lot more.
It was 5th round. I'm like, please get him, pick him. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, 6th round, he's still there. What are we doing? And then I was like, okay, well, we lost out on him. And the fact he came to us undrafted free agent, I love that. He's gonna make the team. He's making the team. He's way too good to be going undrafted. Dude is nasty with it.
Definitely have to watch more of our Darius Washington, but from what I've seen, he's a pretty good playmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. King says that we reached on Brandon Stevens. I think that's a very fair point.
King
yes.
never lied. King didn't lie there. All facts.
So thus far we've had 2 reaches. Jason Owe and Brandon Stevens.
I'm going to call Stevens more of a reach compared to Owe because we were not going to be anywhere close to getting. If we really wanted him, we didn't have a 2nd round pick.
Yeah.
I think he would have fell. He would have been drafted eventually late 30s. I think if we didn't take him.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have here from you guys. Anonymous says maybe we could get Brandon Stevens on offense for a few trick plays.
I don't think Greg Roman knows what that is.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yeah, SG says he has versatility. He can play cornerback and safety. Yeah, I mean, that's what we want. That's what we want, right? All right. So I also saw one more question in here.
Okay.
Jay Hall says, does the fact that we didn't address linebacker or D-line worry you guys?
I think our linebacker was set. We have 4 linebackers in Queen, Harrison, Fort, and Bort. That's our linebacker group. And then D-line, we have the Monstars. We have Matabike. Don't know what's going on with Broderick Washington, but we did pick one up in undrafted free agency.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did address it. I was hoping we would address the line too, but it's like the first draft since I think 2011 we didn't draft a defensive lineman.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Moving right along here, we're going to go ahead and get into the next pick. Who's that, Alex?
That would be. Oh, who was next? Was that Wallace?
Yes.
Tylan Wallace out of Oklahoma State. Your guy brought him up, talked about him. Don't know how he fell that far. BPA, great pick. You can just lead us off here. Do you like it, love it, hate it?
Man, I love this pick. Man.
Surprise, surprise.
Right, yeah, surprise, surprise. I love it. I just think that, like you said, best player available, great value. You get a wide receiver who is scrappy, you know what I mean? He has that dog mentality in him. He doesn't necessarily pack the same, like, frame, you know? He's not like a big body, like, 6'2" guy. I believe, he's like 5'11", I think.
5'11", but Oklahoma State fans that were in the comments of my video said this dude plays his heart out. Heart is left on the field, plays like he is 6'5". Can't ask much.
Right. Can't ask for much more than that. And he's just kind of like a big playmaker. I saw like a lot of people say that like he lacks like top end speed and things like that, but it's like
AB doesn't have that speed.
Yeah,
AB never
he still
had
made
speed.
plays. Exactly. He still made plays. He takes good angles. He has good hands too, man. I really, really like Tylan Wallace. And you talk about somebody who can go up and catch a 50-50 ball. For a guy that's 5'11", he can go up and moss somebody.
And he'll catch it while somebody's on him one-handed. Because I saw his college highlights. He was doing that too. Loved it. Yeah. I'm gonna love it for me. Easy, no brainer.
Absolutely. We got our guy Ramey is in the house. He says, "Yo, what's up, man?
What's up,
Thank you for coming to the stream, bro. How did you feel about Tylan Wallace? How did you guys feel about Tylan Wallace, man? We want to get all you guys' opinions in here. I want to see what you guys are saying about him.
Real quick, and a sprinkle, some non-Raven fans in here. Our guy on God says Tylan Wallace and De'Ami Brown looking like steals for both of us. As he's a Washington football team fan. He didn't lie. I mean, steals, absolute steals. Gonna fit in the teams perfectly. I mean, I know our guy KLA loved De'Ami Brown. He went pretty close to the Washington football team. So I can't see you not saying love it for this because he's not. He shouldn't have been there.
Exactly, and this is just that much more competition for that wide receiver room, and it's getting kind of like a little pack. Like now we've gotten all we can eat now. Like we've gotten Sammy Watkins, we got Rashad Bateman, we got
and people
Tylan
are forgetting
Wallace.
Watkins. People were I was making some Richard Sherman highlights today because he'll be signed soon, and I went to that Super Bowl, bro. Sammy Watkins absolutely burned Richard Sherman. They're down 3 points, burns him for 38 yards on a 2nd and 7. 3 minutes left in the Super Bowl. Big game player. You can't teach that. How you can't teach size. You cannot teach clutch, and Sammy Watkins is clutch. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And let me see what you guys are saying. Darius the official says, I love this pick. He can catch in traffic and he's a decent blocker too. Okay. Cam Neal says, how the heck was he available? It's beyond me.
Yes.
Kaylee Sports says, love it. Amazing value. Pro day drops concern me, but great value and adds depth to our wide receiving core, and he'll go up and get it. Yeah, he definitely will. I think that's probably the best part about it. Like he's not like I don't know. You won't catch him running like a deep route and Lamar throws him the ball and he doesn't turn his head until it's like too late, and next thing you know he turns into a cornerback. I don't know. We saw that too many times last season. I'm kind of scarred from that, but he's gonna go up. He's gonna try to make a play on the ball, and that's what I like the most about this guy, man. I think the comparison that I like the most, and I was telling my guy Alex about it, Steve Smith Sr. is a good comparison for him, man. Scrappy guy, not the biggest guy, but
Mike
good
Mitchell's
hands.
Father.
Exactly, and just yards after the catch, man.
We didn't have that much of that. It was a lot of just that. They wouldn't make players miss, it seemed like last year. They would catch the ball, maybe get 5 more yards, but only yak I can think of was the Trace McSorley touchdown to Hollywood, where he just spun and just outran everybody. But besides that, or just yards after contact too. A lot of our guys wouldn't take the contact. Tylan Wallace would have 2 guys hit him, and he's still going. He's fighting for every yard possible, and that is what we were absolutely missing last year.
Yeah, it was. You're absolutely right. Ramey says Tylan Wallace is a dog. Gerald says great pick, Tylan Wallace.
We can leave it there. If G Money says a great pick, leaving it there.
Yeah, man. On God says I'm happy for y'all. Y'all finally got wide receivers and can shut some people up. Yeah, I mean, we have the tools now. We gotta put them to good use, and
Yeah,
we're looking at you, Greg Roman, man. This has got to
we
be
are.
a great year from Greg Roman.
And
I
I
think so.
mean, it's weird because like the Ravens at Washington had a similar class. Like they addressed other needs. They took somebody from Minnesota. They took Benjamin St. Just, and dude, that is a steal. That corner from Minnesota, absolute steal. Washington hit on their draft too. A lot of teams hit on the draft this year, and we'll talk about
Yeah,
that later. A lot of teams did.
yeah, they did, they did. Um, let's see what else we have. I'll take probably like one more, two more about Tylen Wallace here. Kingbird 56 says, I like him, but I'm being selfish. I wanted Julio Jones for the
No,
kill.
I don't.
Yeah.
Not anymore. No,
So 90,
I
so you like this better than Julio Jones? Like
if this is last year, I want
Bateman and
Julio, but I have
right.
so much faith in these new coaches. They
Gotcha.
even said these coaches brought a new different type of scouting of receivers to the team. That right there won me over enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Amari Rogers was it T. Martin's son. He went to the Packers. He's going to be amazing there. I want us
Right.
to get him. If we would have never gotten Tylen Wallace, I mean, I think Rogers went before. I don't know if he went before or after, but I wanted Rogers. But
Yeah.
yeah, I have so much faith in these guys.
Kyle O'Connor says, my concern is when you look at the tape, he is never pressed at the line. There's always a free release. I mean, but hey, man, like you got to think when you're playing with the Ravens, they're playing against a lot of that zone coverage. It's not a lot of press man coverage, where you got one guy pressing up on him and chasing him around the field all day. You got guys sitting back in zone trying to wait on
Yeah, we
Lamar
phase zone
Jackson
a
to see
lot.
what he's gonna do.
I mean,
So
and as I was watching the draft, I watched ESPN this year. I usually watch
yeah,
NFL Network, but I was hearing Mel Kiper Jr. and Louis Riddick saying how they're like, oh, if they get pressed up, they're going to get beat. They said you don't see anybody press up anymore in the NFL. It's so rare.
right.
So he'll be fine.
Yeah, and Anonymous says this pick means bye bye Boykin. What does this draft class mean for guys like Miles Boykin? Who's in trouble?
Oh, Boykin,
Hmm.
Prochet.
Hmm.
I don't like that, but he's in trouble. Let's be real. Um, Deion Kane. It's gonna be hard for him to make the roster. Anybody else? I think locks right now. Hollywood, Watkins, Bateman, Wallace, maybe Duvernay. At least one spot, and you better be damn good at special teams.
Yeah, yeah, man. A couple of those guys are in trouble, and I think it's going to be very, very interesting.
So
But I
unfair
think
to Prochet. So
I
unfair.
know, but I think Prochet he's going to get the chance to prove himself in the preseason,
Mm-hmm.
along with all of our other
Oh,
rookies, man.
do you want to talk about preseason real quick? Like how excited we
Yeah,
are for it?
yeah,
Because when our backups are in, it's gonna be even more exciting. You have Tyler Huntley and Trace McSorley. You're gonna have Justice Hill in there. I mean, we haven't seen Hill since his rookie year because he barely played last year. It's gonna be
right.
amazing. Then
Yeah,
we'll see
man.
Ardarius Washington play safety. We'll see. It's gonna be fun, man. We'll see
It's
Brandon
going to be so
Stevens.
much fun.
Oh man,
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see which receiver is kind of like the standout receiver of the preseason.
I think Prochet. I
You
think
think
they're gonna.
Prochet?
Yeah, he's gonna be
He's gonna come out
going
there with a
crazy.
chip on his shoulder. Didn't
Yep.
really get a whole lot of opportunities last season. We drafted two more wide receivers this season, so he's really, fighting for his spot at this point. And I can't even say
And
rightfully so because he really hasn't had the chances.
yeah, and also we're fighting to get to 100 likes on this episode. 28
Ooh,
away.
okay.
Why don't we hit it? Why not?
Like the video, guys.
Yes.
We're almost at 100.
Yes.
And big shout out to you guys for rocking out with us tonight on episode
119
48.
people. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
thank you guys so
thank you.
much. We appreciate it. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next pick that the Ravens made in the draft, and that is going to be defensive back Sean Wade. In round 5, we picked him up. Alex, do you like this pick? Love this pick, or do you hate this pick?
Love. Absolute steal. The
Mm,
reason why he dropped so far is because they put this man on the outside. There are some corners that can play inside and outside. This man is a nickel corner. He plays in the slot. Who's our slot corner? Real quick. Tavon Young.
yeah.
I love him. Maryland product, born and raised in Maryland. Cannot stay healthy. So let's say he goes down. Sean Wade, hard hitter, playmaker. He'll step in there perfectly fine. Love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's something you want in your secondary as well, like hard hitter, playmaker. I think we need more of that. We have a couple of playmakers already in our secondary, i.e., Marlon Humphrey,
Yeah.
Marcus Peters. I think Ashawn Wade, like you said, Tavon Young, he has health injury concerns, things like that. If he were to go down, and hopefully not, because Tavon Young is an amazing player in his own regard. But Sean Wade, I think he could definitely be a good plug and play instead of, having what happened to us like last season where one of our corner goes down and now all of a sudden we're super thin at corner and we got to bring in some guy and, you got Baker Mayfield like throwing all over the field to him. It's just bad. It was just bad. So I like this pick. I'm not going to say love the pick because we went out and drafted DB 2 picks before this, and I felt like there were other positions of need that we might have been able to address. I don't know, maybe we could have drafted a center
Or line.
or line,
D-line, O-line, one of the two.
D-line, or something like that. But I like the pick. I like this is one of those other things where I'm more so, I don't necessarily love the pick, but I love what the Ravens might be able to turn him into,
I got you. I mean, and we have to think about life after Jimmy Smith. And I have faith in Anthony Averett, but we saw what happened when Marcus Peters went down. I mean, then we had, and what I don't like is how we had Tramon Williams when Stephon Diggs are arguably top 3, top 5 receiver in the league and the biggest game of the season last year. We don't want that. We don't want a 37-year-old corner on him. I mean, he has a lot to learn. He's not going to be a starter week 1, but what he is going to be is somebody that can learn. And who better learn from than Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Jimmy Smith? Can't get much better than that.
You are right about that, my friend. We have another Super Chat donation. This one's coming in from our guy Gerald again as Alex walks off the set.
We said from the logo, this is from 3/4 of the court. They inbounded him. He just inbounds it and he let it fly. Why not let it fly?
Catch and shoot. Big shout out to you, Joe. We appreciate you each and every time, man. You already know. Thank you so much for just donating and supporting the channel. He says the one good thing I like about some of the changes the Ravens have made is Lamar Jackson does not have to rush as much as he has in the past. This season is going to be a more balanced attack. And I think that is a fabulous point by our guy Gerald, aka G Money. He is right on, he's right on the money with this one. He's right on the money. No,
you can go. Keep going.
Now, I was just gonna say, look at who we picked up. I think J.K. Dobbins becoming our RB1 is huge because it's gonna take away running plays from Lamar, which is good. The less times Lamar Jackson is running the football, the better, contrary to popular belief. So that, and then there's also the fact that we went out and we kind of solidified our receiving core. We didn't go out and make like a huge splash. We didn't get a Julio Jones. We didn't go out and get the Kenny Galladay or the Allen Robinson, one of those guys. But what we did is we kind of filled the needs that we had. We needed a veteran receiver who can get open, reliable. Sammy Watkins, boom, done. Went out in the draft, our first round draft pick, Rashad Bateman, another guy who can get open for Lamar Jackson and just, maybe just all around, we may not even know what we're getting in Rashad Bateman. He could be a lot better than even we think. His potential is really through the roof. So went out and got a guy like that. We also got Tylen Wallace in the draft. Very high upside receiver, very scrappy as well. So, yeah, I definitely think that this this offensive attack in general is just going to be a lot more balanced. I think it has to be too, right? It has to be. We've shown that, when we're lopsided like that, when we are first in the league in rushing and last in passing, we're very limited. We're very limited. It's not going to work. So
and I think what's even more scary hours, dare I say, is if you have to be worried about Lamar Jackson and he's not running on you. Because if he starts running less, we can rush 5. Really? You want to?
Okay.
I mean, what happened against the Titans? What did they bring? They brought what, 5? 3rd and 9?
Yeah.
Gets to the hole in the middle, gone. So if you want to just act like he's not going to run anymore, be my guest because don't stack that box. See what happens. Bring some extra. Bring a blitz. See what happens. So great point that Gerald brings up.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, Gerald. We appreciate you. But just kind of touching back on Sean Wade here, just kind of wanted to see you guys' opinions on this. Anonymous has a steal A. Josh Hoffman says, I like this pick. Spiritual Dub says he likes it. Anonymous, Money G from the logo. Sean Carter says steal. Yeah. Cam Neal says Sean Wade equals love it. Tavon Young's replacement. Yeah, that's what, my guy Alex was saying too. Yeah. I think we like the Sean Wade trade. I'm not too high on it myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I feel like we could have gotten somebody else that could have better fit our needs at that time and maybe better BPA. I'm not sure, but I like it, not love it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next pick that the Ravens made. Moving right along here. That's going to be outside linebacker Daylen Hayes
from Notre
round
Dame.
5. Yeah, what did you think about that one?
I was a little bit like, I wanted Quincy Roche from Miami. Born and raised in Baltimore, literally went to Newtown High, 5 minutes away from the facility. I'm like, this right here, like, fits. Born and raised. But they're like, okay, you know what? He was born in Baltimore, but we're going to go and get the guy who, was born and raised as a Baltimore Ravens fan, Daylen Hayes. Wasn't a lot of film for me to look at. I mean, when I saw he did get to the quarterback, I think he had a couple of injuries, not too sure, but it's a Ravens pick. I can see this guy turning into Zadarius Smith. He'll break out in a couple of years and then leave us when his contract, goes up. But initially, I like it.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and say that I love this pick. I love this pick because, like, from what I saw, he's very explosive. He's a very good athlete, and he's very quick to the football. He doesn't really get fooled on, like, run fakes, run past fakes, things like that. And he hits hard and unforgiving, too. That's probably what I like the most. Like, when you talk about a guy who can play like a Raven, yes, he's a raw talent. But I think he's a guy who can be molded into, like, one of those epitomes of a play like a Raven, type of guy. Put him in there, and we're really good at developing defensive players, but you put him in there alongside, and I know Calais Campbell doesn't rush the passer primarily.
He'll swat the ball.
He'll swat the ball, but put him in a locker room with Calais Campbell and Derek Wolfe and Pernell McPhee and all those guys, man. I feel like he could definitely start to make an impact, You also have to realize the scheme fit for a lot of these guys as well.
Wink.
Outside linebacker, with Wink.
He could drop into coverage, had a pick. I mean, he reminds me a little bit of Judon. Because Judon would do that too.
Do you see the plays where he was like breaking out into the flat? And like,
he got one of his, I forget who it was against. Yep. Yeah. And my thing is, I think he'll have a bigger year than Jalen Ferguson. I was really high on Jalen Ferguson, but he needs to do something this year. He's gone.
That's what came to mind. That's what came to mind for me when I first saw this pick. I was like, damn, so Jalen Ferguson is really like on his way out of here if he doesn't like step it up this season. I guess he's another guy who we'll see in the preseason featured and see if he's made any strides forward. But I don't know, man. I think that I'm really loving this Daylen Hayes pick. I think he might be able to be next up. He might be a sleeper. He can be a sleeper.
I hope so. Well, I mean, we'll see in due time. We'll see.
I think he's the Justin Madubuike of this draft.
Say it again. Stamp it. Stamp it right now.
I'm stamping it right here, right now on Purple Rain Podcast, episode 48. Daylen Hayes, the 5th round pick to the Baltimore Ravens. He's going to be the Justin Madubuike of this draft. So I think he's going to get some playing time like a little bit later in the season. He's going to make a couple plays here and there. And we're going to see flashes. We're going to see flashes from this guy. So I'm very excited for him. Love the pick.
Perfect. All right. What does the Rain Gang think?
Yeah, let's see what the Rain Gang is saying about Daylen Hayes. SG says it's a W. Big W's. Yeah, I like that. W. Yeah. Jonathan Washington Jr. says Daylen Hayes may be my favorite pick. I don't know why, but he seems like a Ravens type of pick. See, you and me, Jonathan, we're here. We're here with it. I appreciate you, man.
Same page.
Andrew Sakar says he liked it. Dami says W. Devon Johnson says anybody from Notre Dame I'm loving.
That's fair.
And yes, that includes Miles Boykin. Oh, man. Let's see. Kayleigh says I like it. Haven't seen much of him, but we got edge depth, and I don't hate it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Can't hate the depth. Gotta stockpile.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Malo226 says he is a mirror to Yannick Ngakoue, but better he finishes.
I would like that.
Didn't have too much production in terms of like sacks, things like that. in his time played at Notre Dame, but he was pretty disruptive. He was pretty disruptive. So I think he has high potential. Let's see. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the next and final pick, actually.
Yes.
And that is going to be for tight end Ben Mason that we drafted in round 5.
Tight end, fullback, D-line.
Yeah, kind of a hybrid type player. Alex, how did you feel about this pick? Did you like it? Did you love it? Or did you hate it?
Hate it.
Hate
Why?
It. Why?
I don't get it. I don't get why in the 5th round, I believe Quincy Roche is still there. We lost Ngakoue. We lost Judon. That's 2 edge rushers right there. We get Owe, and then we get Hayes. Why not get another one? Because I'm going to be honest with you, they're not going to produce the way that Judon did. If you're trying to say that Ricard is like on his way out, I'm not going to like that either. I'm really not. Because there's only a certain number of guys that can come in this offense and do what he does and just bring the passion that he does to the game. Unless he's played a defensive line, I will like it. But if he's just a tight end fullback, I hate it. Because we have 6 tight ends as it is now.
Yeah. And
real quick, if we wanted a fullback, why don't we just have Rex Steiner from last year? That dude was an absolute animal. For the way he was built, how fast he was running, how good he was, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Pablo says fullback is for an undrafted free agent. Yeah. And, maybe we could have gotten a Ben Mason as an undrafted free agent, we wouldn't have had to spend a pick on him. Yeah. But I don't know. There had to be something that they had seen in Ben Mason that they liked particularly. And I know you were saying about Ben Mason, he was
He was like one of like the Harbaugh parents' like favorite players.
Yeah.
When did I ask? I don't care. I really don't care if they're. Guess what? I'll be honest with you. Let's see. Who was the player that we got rid of that we really liked? You don't care what we think, so I don't care what they think. Like what? I really just do not care. Where is he? If we're in win now mode, he's not helping us out win now. Let's just be honest.
That's not a win now move.
No.
Yeah. I feel that, but the Ravens, they love their big body guys who they can just kind of plug and play. Okay, you need a big body for fullback. Okay, you can play there, D-line as well, and then tight end maybe.
Tight end, we get a 6'7" tight end from Virginia Tech and undrafted free agency. I mean, if they're there in UDFA, so a 5th round pick, bro, just trade it for next year. I just didn't get this pick whatsoever. I really don't know.
Yeah, man, I gotta agree with you there, man. I definitely hated this pick, that's for sure.
But can I tell a pretty cool story about this pick, though?
Yeah, sure.
So right after the draft, went to Five Guys, me and my dad, and we're there, and my dad's wearing a Ravens mask, and the guy at the counter's like, "Did you see the draft? We drafted Ben Mason." And he's like, "A fullback." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you watch his highlights?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "On YouTube?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, interesting. I'm the only one who made a Ben Mason highlight video. That was pretty cool. That's the only thing he'll probably get of it as a like from me. But not too.
Hey man, that was kind of a head scratcher pick. I was like, I don't know if we should have went for tight end not tight end, but kind of hybrid player like Ben Mason with our last pick. So let's see. Cam Neal says, "Say what you want. Pat Ricard is important to this run game." Yeah, man.
And not many people can do what he does in his offense.
Yeah. Sindoff, our guy Sindoff says, "When Pat Ricard is such a huge part of our team, having a backup that can also help with run game if Ricard gets hurt is huge."
Bronson Rex Steiner. The dude looks so much better than Ben Mason. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know he went to Kennesaw State, but if you watch his highlight video, dude was just an all-out freak. And we're talking about Owe being an athlete. Rex Steiner was even crazier. Now the dude's like wrestling or something. So that one we missed.
Yeah. Our guy Caleb Parmel brings up a pretty good point here. Says, with all of these picks, I feel like the Ravens made moves for the future as well. Sean Wade to replace Tavon Young and Ben Mason to replace Ricard later, etc.
Let me see how old Patrick Ricard is. Let me just check real quick.
Yeah, let's pull that up. Let's pull that up.
Because what has he done to like not deserve an
Right.
extension? He showed
Yeah.
up in the Tennessee game. He was so just good. Out of the half, remember the first possession out halftime? He had like two or
Yeah.
three catches on that drive. Like Tyreek
He was
Hill
the
twitched about
reason.
him.
He was the reason we marched downfield.
He's 26 years old.
Hmm.
If you get rid of Patrick Ricard for Ben Mason, no disrespect to Ben Mason, there's blood on Harbaugh's hands. It's that simple.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah. Agreed there. But yeah, that was the last pick of the draft. A little bit of a head scratcher there, but that's gonna wrap up the like it, love it, or hate it segment. Now, guys, what we will do.
Do we want to talk about undrafted free agents real quick?
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Let's talk about undrafteds.
We have 129 people watching. Thank you to everybody. I know we picked up our Darius Washington from TCU, who was partnered with Trayvon Mulrig, who I think we all wanted. I mean, I would have loved him in Baltimore.
Yeah.
But I really like what I saw from him. I wish he could play his highlights on the stream, but we'll get taken down. It's happened before, and you know that.
Yeah.
But he can honestly make the starting team. I think Chuck Clark, you have to step it up this year. I think Elliott worked his way, but Clark better keep his. I mean, I know he has a green dot. That's the only thing really keeping him in there. But our Darius Washington undrafted free agent is a steal. Then we got this tight end from Virginia Tech, 6'7". Dude is an absolute monster. I wouldn't be surprised if he, maybe makes a practice squad because dude can catch and can block. And I know we got a running back from a really small school. Not too sure about him. And then we had a defensive lineman, I believe. Nothing's been confirmed yet.
I'm definitely gonna have to look up. What's the tight end's name again? 6'7".
Yeah, I did a video on him. It's Tony Poljan. Just go to it's like one of my most recent videos.
Tony Poljan. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey man, you start talking 6'7". I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
And
I might
the
gotta
first
check
clip
him
in
out.
that video, honestly, can we show the first clip? Because it's honestly a highlight. That is a highlight right there. If you want to.
I mean, yeah, we can.
All right. Give me send you the link to the video.
Yeah. Twitter.
Perfect.
But yeah, man, and I think it's funny when we talk about like big body receivers and stuff like that, and how that's so important for Lamar. It was funny because the night of the draft, Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown were on Instagram Live, and when the Rashad Bateman pick was made, first of all, Lamar didn't know who Rashad Bateman was. But like the first thing that he was asking Hollywood, because Hollywood was giving him the information of what was happening in the draft, the first thing he asked Hollywood, he was like, "How tall is he? How tall is he?" And I was just like, see, look, see, he knows, he cares, he knows. But yeah, man, I just thought that was pretty interesting. But I think you sent me this link.
Yeah, so while you pull it up, I'll pull up all our undrafted free agent signings. We have Nate McCrary, Saginaw State running back, wide receiver Dante Silencio. I know he was a teammate of Lamar Jackson's in high school.
Yeah.
Guard Sam Cooper from Merrimack. Tackle Adrian Ely from Oklahoma. That keep your eyes on. We love our Oklahoma guys. Foster Serrell from Stanford. Tony Poljan from Virginia. Can the power not go out, please? Xavier Kelly, Arkansas. Defensive tackle. Linebacker Blake Gallagher from Northwestern. And safety Darius Washington from TCU.
Okay.
I mean, stuff to look at.
Yeah, definitely just stuff to look at, man. I think they're gonna try out a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
See if they are good fits for us. And I like that. And I think you wanted me to bring up this.
Just the first clip.
Just the first clip.
I really hope they don't take us down off of one clip. I haven't pulled up.
Right. It's one clip. It's one clip, right?
Yeah. And you can see like this guy, he uses his height and he knows how to get them toes down.
Yeah. Go ahead and play that.
There we go. It's in slow motion. Okay. Kind of lag for us, but it's going to show a replay right there. Look at that. Like, he got up there. Can you just go back to the beginning so we can all see it again?
Yeah.
So quick rollout. Back of the end zone. Went up there and got his foot. I know it's 1 foot, but oh my. Undrafted. Oh. I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
tough.
I
That's tough,
absolutely
man.
love that. So
And
something to look
in
out
the
in training
back of the
camp.
end zone. Yeah, man. Definitely something to look out for. Hopefully that guy can find a way to make the squad, and we'll be seeing him on Sundays at some point. But, wishful thinking. In the meantime, we hope that Mark Andrews is everything and more this season for us,
And Nick
because we
Boyle
will need
too.
him.
We love Nick
And
Boyle.
Nick Boyle.
And
Yeah.
actually, speaking of tight ends and Ravens tight ends, did you see the Atlanta Falcons decline Hayden Hurst's 5th-year option for next season?
Did they?
He will be a free
Oh,
agent in 2022.
yeah, I actually did see that. I did see that. That's interesting. What do
Honestly,
you make? What do you
I
make of that?
bring him back. I
Bring him
would love to
back?
have him, but I mean, he requested a trade out of here because he wasn't getting enough time.
Yeah.
So
He wants to be a number one tight end.
he
And it's
was
like,
last year, and what happened?
and it's crazy that like 1 year later, the Falcons, they go
They
Kyle
get
Pitts at
one of the
number
best
4.
tight end prospects of all time in Kyle Pitts.
Oh man, poor Hayden Hurst, man. Poor Hayden Hurst.
I would take him back,
You would take him back in a heartbeat, wouldn't you?
and honestly, because Nick Boyle, I want to see how he is, and Sam brings a great, bring him back. I mean, I want to see how Nick Boyle is after the injury because that's a serious injury. We all love Nick Boyle, but I think bring those 3 guys together, that was the bromance I didn't know I needed. All of them.
That would, that Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews, Nick Boyle, that connection was definitely something special, for sure.
That was a brotherhood right there.
Absolutely. Don Burr says, "I thought this was a Vikings page."
Nah,
That's pretty funny.
I see he's a Lions fan, but we're not we're not Vikings fans.
Yeah. All
But
Ravens.
you know who the Lions do have at quarterback though.
Hmm.
My guy Jared Goff. They had a pretty good draft. They drafted so many receivers this year. I guess Perriman and Tyrell Williams is not the answer for them.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and just kind of recap the entire draft. We want to first grade the Ravens draft in its entirety. We want to get you guys' opinions on what did you think was your overall grade? Was it an A plus? Did they knock it out of the park that much? Was it a B? Was it a C? Or was it, did you think they did a bad job? Was it a D? What do you think, Alex? What do you think was the grade for the Ravens draft in 2021? You're up first,
I'm
man.
up first. I'm going to go B. B, initial. We addressed what we needed. We addressed interior line, not a center. How did we let Creed Humphrey go to the Kansas City Chiefs, bro?
Oh,
goodness. And you know what? I don't like being petty, but I had some bozo on Twitter when we traded Orlando Brown. He was like, "Oh, the Chiefs don't have a good line anyway." Their line right now is absolutely nasty. Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Orlando Brown. They got Kyle Long. They have somebody else too. It is a really, really, really good line now.
Duvernay back.
Yeah.
That one of their offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Tardif Duvernay or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, their offensive line stout.
I cannot believe we let Creed Humphrey find. Oh my goodness. But initial, I'm gonna go B. If they all develop, obviously an A plus. But let's just hope that they can develop.
Yeah, I agree. I think a B would be a good grade for it. I'm gonna give it a B minus. I'm gonna give it a B minus. I think towards the end of the draft, in the later rounds, there were a couple picks that were a little bit of head scratchers to me that I still ended up liking. Corners, but it's just I think that the team could have went a different direction if we are truly in a win now mode. We could have got best player available at some different positions that could help. Could have helped us sooner rather than later. So for that reason, I give it a B minus. But towards the top half of the draft, I really like Rashad Bateman. Jason Oweh, I really love what he may be able to turn into on our defense. But in terms of the short term, don't love that pick all the way.
Like a C plus, I'd say.
Like a C plus, yeah. You can kind of grade a draft class if you look at the first three picks. If you're giving your instant reaction, Rashad Bateman, Jason Oweh, and Ben Cleveland. Those 3 picks, I give it a B. I said what I said about Rashad Bateman. Ben Cleveland is a beast. I love that pick up and down. Jason Oweh is kind of a head scratcher, but love what he can turn into. But what are you about to say, bro?
I think about it when we had our mock draft, we took Asante Samuel in the second round.
We
Remember
did.
that? So that's why I'm not too worried about their them getting corners because we knew that we were going to pick a corner. We knew that secondary, we can never have enough.
Right.
But the OA, I just really hope it works out. I'm honestly the most nervous about that one out of the whole draft group. I'm not worried about Bateman because I have so much faith in Williams and Martin. And yeah, so I'll go a solid B.
Solid B. Yeah, and a couple of the Rain Gang is agreeing with you as well. Solid B, B plus. Gerald says it's an A.
Gerald,
Pablo, B plus plus, A minus, B plus. Yeah, so we're kind of like in that A B range. I say B minus. Milo agrees with me. B minus. Yeah, man. It was a good draft. I don't think it was a great draft. I don't think we had the best draft like in the AFC North.
Really?
I think the Browns had a better draft. I think the Browns really solidified themselves on defense. They are going to be a handful next season. They're going to be a handful on defense. They got John Johnson calling plays
Troy
back
Hill.
there in that secondary. Troy Hill, Gregory Newsome. They're going to be nice. They are going to be nice. And not to mention they got that Notre Dame linebacker as well. So...
Oh boy, I don't even want to think about the Browns at this point because I don't feel like losing to them and hearing their fans. But you know what? I got faith in our boys.
Absolutely.
We got a better coach, got a better quarterback.
Yeah.
Got faith.
Got faith. All the faith in the world, man.
Of course.
But yeah, and thank you guys so much for putting your thoughts about the draft, your opinions. We really love to see what you guys think about it. The entire Rain Gang, we appreciate you guys for coming through the stream tonight. Make sure you like the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new here.
100 likes, so thank you so much.
Hundo likes? I like that. I like that
I love to see it. Oh.
Love to see it. All right, so let's get into a couple other things that happened in the draft. Not necessarily, Ravens related, but there were some key moments in the draft that kind of shook things up.
Oh,
and
boy.
if you were here live watching last week here on the Purple Rain podcast channel, we had some pretty funny reactions to some of the things that happened. So I'll start.
Okay.
What did you think about Justin Fields and him falling to the Bears, or where he did fall in the draft, and the Bears trading up and giving the haul up for him? What did you think about that?
Bro, I saw a tweet. It was like the Bears finally found their franchise quarterback, and like you can tell because they were just nonstop posting about him on Instagram, so many posts about him. They finally did something right.
They did.
We go back to what was that 2016 draft or 2017? When
2016, I believe.
Yeah, because it was like Mahomes, Watson, Trubisky, and it's Trubisky.
Yeah.
So hey, you know what? He's still in the league right now. We might not see Watson in the league anymore. But we were talking about we're like, wow, that's a really good pick. They have some weapons. They got Mooney, they got Komet, they got Allen Robinson, and they took your guy Tevin Jenkins.
They did take Tevin Jenkins as well.
And I know, if you remember, I was like, I kind of look like Jason Oweh, at the end of the draft, bro. Tevin Jenkins looks like a nerd a little bit. I saw him, bro, I'd be laughing. If this guy trying to block me, I'd just be laughing in his face, and he just pancakes me.
Yeah, bro. He definitely does have that. He's got that nerd look going on. But hey, one of the best offensive tackles in that draft class. So
man.
Big shout out to him. But back to Justin Fields. Justin Fields, man, I think that was, like you said, it was the right thing to do for the Chicago Bears, man. They were the laughing stock of the NFL for the past 5 years for taking Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. So they said, what?
They made the playoffs 2 times.
And they still made the playoffs. And that was, I think, the biggest point that I was making last week on the podcast was that, hey, the Bears are not like a poverty franchise. They're not like a poverty team. They actually contend for a playoff spot pretty consistently. So just with them getting their quarterback, getting their guy, getting a Justin Fields, somebody who can improvise, somebody who can make plays, somebody who can make plays with his legs and also his arm. His arm, he has a cannon for an arm, a cannon. And he played at Ohio State.
Week 1, though.
He's a tough guy. Don't start him week 1?
Nope. I think you have Dalton. Dalton and Fields is like Lamar and Flacco. You got to ease him in. You cannot throw him in the fight. Maybe he has an amazing preseason, then we'll know. But I don't want to see a young quarterback get absolutely just screwed up because a team is worrying and panicking and they just throw him in there. Don't want to see that. Kind of like a Jalen Hurts a little bit, because we were so happy about Jalen Hurts and it kind of just like went downhill.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah. You're right about that. Let's see what you guys are saying in here. Samuel L. Jackson says the Bears cannot develop quarterbacks. The rest is solid. Yeah. Bears can't develop I mean, the Bears have really never had like that
Jay
franchise
Cutler,
QB.
Rex Grossman.
Yeah, you know. So I mean, that's why the Bears are really going all out for him.
But speaking of the Bears too, they released their starting left tackle, Charles Leno. And can you imagine the Chiefs right now? They're probably kicking themselves in the butt because they could have gotten a starting caliber left tackle for nothing. But they went and got Orlando Brown Jr., which I'm not saying one's better than the other, but it could have saved them a first-round pick.
Yeah.
But it's all hindsight 2020, but it's just kind of funny how the NFL works.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, no disrespect. My boy Phil's getting destroyed when we show up at Soldier Field this season. Oh, because we do play the Bears.
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. I can't wait. I love playing rookie quarterbacks. Playing against rookie quarterbacks, like, that's amazing. Seeing what Wink does, for them. All right, let's see. Sendoff says we should scoop Leno, make him a right tackle.
I don't know. I'd rather have Kelly or I don't know. I still am on the Kelly train over Villanueva for some reason.
Now the Bears, another big thing about the Bears is that a lot of people don't believe in their coach Matt Nagy. You being one of them. Do you think that like if the Bears don't finish positive over 500 this season or they don't make the playoffs, do you think Matt Nagy's out of there?
No. I put him more on the GM. I put him more on the GM. It's not going to be Nagy. It'll be the GM swap.
It'll be the GM.
But I think if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, they should be winning the NFC North, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm straight facts. Like, golf is not going to change the Lions. They're still going to be poverty. The Vikings, they should have tried to trade up and get Justin Fields because Kirk Cousins on the final year of his deal. And if he's still the quarterback, Justin Jefferson's going to be the next Stephon Diggs when he get out of there.
Yeah.
But if Rodgers leaves Green Bay, I'm expecting the Bears to win the NFC North. Because their defense is already good as it is now.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. Their defense is already good. So if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, which I kind of expect for him to do, then
See, I had so much respect for Rodgers, and the way he's treating this whole situation kind of making me lose some respect for him.
But why, though? Don't you see like where his frustration is coming from?
I see where it's coming from, but bro, just be like a Tom Brady. Don't talk about it and just surprise everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, but he has Devontae Adams. I mean, so many Lamar Jackson would kill for Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones would kill. Great offensive line.
I mean, you're right about that, but I mean, and to Devon Johnson's point, he says Aaron Rodgers is a diva. He always has been. But he's very good. He's a very good quarterback.
MVP.
Exactly, like 3-time MVP. So it's like, why are we not doing more to appease Aaron Rodgers?
Are we going to have the conversation about the past 2 NFC championships? Is that more on the coach or him?
I think I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers, he's a touchy subject. It's a touchy subject with him because we know the talent. We know he's amazing.
But it's just like they just always seem to fall short.
And I think it started, I remember when he was hosting Jeopardy and that one guy made like the joke about like they should have like went for it or something and not kicked the field goal. Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. I think when he kind of left that joke, I think that was the beginning of the end. Because he just could have like, just like shook it off and just not said anything. But he was like, that's a good one.
He's like, you know what? You're right about that.
Maybe. What do you mean by that?
You're on to something. Yeah. I don't know. I think he's probably going to force his way out of Green Bay. I think
Where
he
do you think he
is.
goes?
I mean, I'm not exactly sure where he goes. It's tough because most teams who, needed a QB, they address QB in the draft. So,
Broncos.
yeah,
Broncos.
the Broncos are one of the only teams who are still kind of stuck without a QB. Yeah, I think that could definitely be a very realistic landing spot. John Elway would
Damn.
probably be like, "Yeah, come on, Aaron. We'd love
Drew
to have you
Lock's gonna
here,
be rapping
baby."
on the sideline. He'll be rapping Young Jeezy on the sideline.
Exactly. Um,
It'll
let's
be a
see.
Bridgewater versus Lock for the backup to Rodgers, and he would be with some great talent in that offense. They got talent. That would
Yeah,
be a
they do have talent. Let's see. Pablo says, "Goodbye, guys. Thank you. You guys are great. Greetings from Argentina. We love you.
oh.
Thank you so
We
much,
love Argentina.
Argentina.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching the show.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
Home on Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Wow. Wild.
Yeah. Send off. He makes a good point here. He says frustration is understandable, 100%. But why advertise your anger and bring a team down? Hold yourself to a high standard and move in silence like lasagna.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you make a very good point there, Sendoff. I mean, you are the quarterback, so you are expected to lead a team, not to be the one whining and complaining about this, that, and the third. You're supposed to be the one to kind of, put everybody on your back and, yeah, that's how it goes. But, Aaron Rodgers is going to Aaron Rodgers. That's for sure.
I
All
just
right.
can't see him in any other team besides that green and yellow.
Deep Mahmood says Rodgers' frustrations are understandable. Last 10 draft picks, Packers have taken 9 defensive players and his replacement in the first round, and other offensive players were available at those picks. I think that's a
See,
big thing.
I get that. I get that 100%. The GM should be on the hot seat for that
Yeah.
because the fact that they took Jordan Love, like, and even this year, like Amari Rodgers is a good pick, but what did they go first round with a corner? I believe was a
I
corner. I
think
think it was
so.
or edge rusher, corner or edge rusher.
I think it
But
was corner.
I just who would they have gotten TMJ? Because
I
I saw they
could.
were interested in Justin Jefferson last year, but what pick were they at? And he went pretty high.
Yeah. It could have been TMJ. I know a lot of mocks had TMJ going to Green Bay. But let's see,
I saw
Jonathan
like
Washington
he said like them cutting
Jr.
Kumaro was like the final straw or something.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a bunch of things, but let's see. Packers brought all this on themselves. Aaron Rodgers may be a diva, but Packers cannot trade up to get Jordan Love and expect Aaron Rodgers to be cool with it after taking them to the
Yeah,
NFC Championship. I mean, he's points are being made here from the Rain Gang. Points are
I
being
think
made.
I don't want to compare it to Alex Smith and KC. I don't want to, but there's just different ways you can handle it. But I
Yeah,
mean, uh, it's Aaron Rodgers. I'm not comparing Aaron Rodgers to Alex Smith, just the situations.
yeah, yeah. So, but all right, we'll go ahead and leave that there. I think now we're gonna go ahead and get into our last segment of the evening, and that's gonna be our coveted Rain Gang questions and answers
Yes.
segment where you guys can ask us absolutely anything that you want, whether it be about Ravens football, whether it be about anything NFL related, anything sports related, even if it's not having
Yeah.
to do with
Anything.
sports. You can ask us about that too. Music, whatever, life, food, anything, guys. Anything you want to ask us. Now is the time. Ask us anything. And super chat donations, of course, will always be prioritized. If you do decide to
Yes.
put a super chat donation in, we'll bring your question up first. So we appreciate you guys nonetheless. And while you guys are getting in your questions, let's see.
I can bring up a pretty weird thing. I'm just with the whole Packers thing. You had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for like 28 years. Would
Yeah.
you call getting 2 Super Bowls out of them a failure? One each.
Uh, yes, I would.
I would agree too.
Because I think at least two. You know what I mean?
They
At
got
least
one of
two
each.
is
I mean, two. You saying two of each, or I mean one of each?
two,
Because
two of
Favre got
each.
one. Fair enough. Or maybe another
Yeah,
appearance too.
right. Yeah. I think that Aaron Rodgers, he definitely at this point in his career should have won more than one Super Bowl. You know?
I just can't put him as a. I mean, he's a legend in my eyes, but I can't put him in goat talk with that yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Real quick, it seems like Tough Puppy asking you says, Alex, were you saying Kirk Cousins slander a bit ago? How dare you at Purple Rain Podcast? I don't think you were slandering Kirk Cousins, were you?
I was just saying that if they keep my quarterback, Justin Jefferson might be next to go. I mean, part of my language here, but he was saying like, "Fuck Kirk, come on," as a rookie. I mean, we all heard that clip. That man's making 3 years, $83 million. It's his final deal of his contract. He better show up, or he's going to be on a new team.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, let's see what questions we have from you guys tonight. Anonymous kicks it off, says, if Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, could you guys see us beating the Packers? I think so. I think
I can see us beating the Packers now.
Yeah, I think we could beat the Packers with Aaron Rodgers for sure.
I mean, the last time we played the Packers, there was Hundley at quarterback, Brett Hundley. But the last time that was 2013, the year after the Super Bowl, and that was just the Ravens weren't the Ravens last time we saw Rodgers. So I think we could.
Wait, the last time we played Green Bay was when?
17. We shut them out like 20-0, I think.
17-0, 20, something like that.
Yeah. Well, that was the year we had a couple of shutouts and still missed the playoffs because of Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So next question coming from Spiritual Dub says, do you guys believe Sam Darnold will do better with the Panthers? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Dude. He's got more weapons now. They just got Terrace Marshall Jr.
Yo.
It's like, bro.
DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, CMC.
Oh, my goodness. Christian.
I think the Panthers had a good draft. Outside of J.C. Horn as their first pick, I think that's a little bit of a reach. I think they had a good draft. But, I mean, think about it now. Look at the NFC South. Look at the receivers in that division. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Mike Evans, A.B., Chris Godwin, Michael Thomas. You got to have corners if you want to compete. So I like it.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. Sam Darnold, he should do better with the Panthers. Time will tell, of course.
Yeah, should do.
If he doesn't show like, improvement over what he did in New York, and I understand they're two totally different situations, but the weapons he has now, it's basically made it so, okay, there's no excuse. Go out there and perform, Any good quarterback is going to be able to produce with that type of talent around him for sure. And like, again, they got Terrace Marshall Jr. This is the guy that the Ravens fans had wanted for a steal. Yeah, they got him for a steal. What did he go at, like the end of the second or something like that?
Yes. I was like, bro, how is he still on the board? Yeah. That's how I felt in day 3. It was the linebacker from, I think, Tulane. He was like the best available for like a couple of rounds, and he finally got taken.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Ron TV says, can we agree that chicken Alfredo is the GOAT food?
Italian food is amazing. Italian food is GOAT food, I think.
Yeah, I like Italian food as well. Chicken Alfredo is pretty good, though. Pretty good, for sure. All right. Next question. Sendoff. This one's coming from Sendoff. Says, Alex, what is your favorite player to make videos for? Most fun?
Safeties. Easily.
Really?
So much fun.
Why?
Bro. Well, let's Deshaun Elliott do just cracking people the whole time. I gotta make an Ed Reed video, bro. I really have to. Like, that's well overdue. But it's so much fun with safeties or linebackers. Receivers is cool, but safeties are linebackers.
Yeah. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, what current Ravens player do you think will change their number? I think Marquise would want to be put number 5, but Joe Flacco also wore that number.
Marquise is switching to 5. You can bet on that.
Confirmed.
He's switching to 5.
Okay.
He said he is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if anybody, like I said, Marquise, it really doesn't matter to me, but I do think the whole 11 through 16 thing is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. In terms of changing the numbers, if Hollywood wants to wear number 5, hey, fine. If he wants to,
he said he might do it next year because this year you have to buy out the whole inventory.
Oh, right. Yeah. I did hear about that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Love West says, how do you guys feel about the Bengals picking a wide receiver first round, knowing that Burrow just came off a knee injury and knowing that they're in a defensive league?
We talked about it. I think we both would have rather seen Penei Sewell go, right?
Yeah. Definitely. And we said it on here. Like you said, man, it doesn't matter what receivers you have if you're on your back. You know what I mean?
Did you see the picture on Twitter of like their new uniforms, and it was Burrow in like all like green because he's on the ground so much like turf stains.
Right. You don't want Joe Burrow getting tossed into the ground. Like he's your golden boy quarterback, man.
Yeah,
You want to protect him for sure. So
I'm such a big fan of him. He's like, even though he's in a division, like I like to do
yeah.
like him out of college. Like I want to see him succeed, just not against my team. But come on,
Yeah.
gotta protect him.
Let's see. Next question comes from Dylan B. Says, "What do you guys predict for our record?" You know, I'll be able to better answer this question when the schedule releases in a couple days.
May
Actually, I think it should
12th.
be
May 12th.
like 9 days from now or so. So that will definitely have a whole episode dedicated to the Ravens schedule being
Yeah,
released because we'll be able to break down a whole
each one
lot.
by
So
one. Oh yeah,
yeah, make sure you come back, Dylan, because we're going to talk about that. And we appreciate you for your question, though. Let's see. All right. So we have one coming in from Malo226 says, "Who wins a game of FIFA 21 between the two of you?" That's a good question. You know, I haven't actually played FIFA 21, but I do know that I'm pretty good at FIFA. I played a lot of FIFA when I was in college.
oh
So with
boy,
that being said, I'm going to say I'm going to get the W against Alex in FIFA.
really? I'm picking myself. What team are you picking? This is where it's gonna have to. What team?
Well, see, like I said, I haven't played in a while, so it's like I don't know which teams are like the best right now. But when I did play a lot of FIFA, I used a lot of Manchester United.
Fair enough. Okay, speaking of Manchester United, you see what happened this past weekend?
I did not.
Their fans literally stormed into their stadium. I
Really?
swear, stormed in. It was honestly, I love seeing it. I don't like seeing people get hurt, but it's them trying to get their owners to sell the club. Loved it.
Hmm.
Loved it. All because of the Super League stuff. Hey, you made this choice, but yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. Hey man, you gotta stand up for what you believe in,
Yeah,
and
man.
you know I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah,
So, but in terms of who wins a FIFA game between the two of us, I got myself. Alex got
I got
himself.
myself. I
Maybe
use
we'll make
Arsenal,
that
bro. We're
happen
like
one
a
day.
4-star team, not even a 5-star team.
What is Manchester United? How many stars
They're
do
a
they
five
have?
star. They're a 5-star.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, maybe we'll make that happen. Maybe we'll make that happen. All right, so next question. This one is coming from our guy, Jace Woods. Jace Woods, big shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining the stream and submitting your question. He says, "What is the over-under for national TV games for the Ravens this season?" This is a great question.
Browns is one of them. I think we're gonna be back on primetime Thanksgiving with the Steelers. There's two because they got to make up for that from last year. Packers is one of them, and Chiefs. I'm gonna go for the minimum.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go
I
5.
think you can go. Oh, so you're taking the over. I think the line should
Yeah.
be 4. So you're saying you're taking the over at 5. I'm taking the
Yep.
line at 4, man. I think we're gonna have 4 national television games. I know there's 17 games this
Yeah,
season,
that's why.
but I feel like we might lose out on a couple primetime games to teams like, I don't know, the Bills. The Browns might steal one from us. Yeah, I think one of these teams with these younger quarterbacks, maybe the Jags with Trevor Lawrence, they might put them on primetime.
Did we
I
have
don't
4
know.
last year or 5?
We have 5. We have 5 last season.
Browns, Steelers, Patriots,
Right.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Which one?
And
Chiefs. Yeah, Chief.
yeah,
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go 5 again. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 4. But thank you so much, Jace Wood, for
Thank
your
you.
question.
Good question.
Let's see. On God says, "How do you guys feel about Jamin Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky, who is now
Loved it.
on the Washington
it.
football team?" Yeah.
Their defense is even nastier. I was actually watching the highlights of the Bucks and Washington playoff game because I was thinking, like, dude, they gave the Bucks a run for their money. And any team in the playoffs, it was the 7-9 Washington football team with
I
Taylor
know.
Heineke at quarterback.
Yeah.
And their defense, man, they need an inside linebacker, and he's going to be good. I mean, think about it. Ron Rivera coached Luke Kuechly. He knows a thing or two about linebackers.
Yeah. You have a point there. You have a point there, my friend. A lot of these teams are really just like really stacking up on defense, and it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. Them, the
I'm going
Browns.
to play him. Hey, Chase Young, year 2, Montez Sweat. I do not want to see them. I'm so fine
Yeah.
with it.
I was also glad that Aziz Ojulari went to the Giants. We don't have to worry
Yeah.
about playing going anywhere near that anytime soon. But yeah, Jamin Davis, great pickup for Washington, man. That defense is just as stout as it has ever been. And I'm very excited to see what they do on defense, but even on offense as well, man. Washington, they're showing a lot of promise. Watch out for them in the NFC East next season. That's all I'm going to say.
Depending who the quarterback is, I got them winning the East again.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Next question comes from Don C. Says, would you guys lose your ish if Rodgers leaves and the Steelers sign him?
Do they have the money? Because Ben took a pay cut. Ben took a pay cut for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll go to the Steelers. I think Raiders is just like destined. Gruden and Rodgers. What a wacky duo. But yeah, I don't think Steelers. Yeah. But yeah, I would lose my ish if he went there.
Me too. Next question comes from King Keel. Says, with the addition of Daylen Hayes and Jason Owe, do you think we move Jalen Ferguson to a Derek Wolfe role?
What do you think?
I don't think so. I think Jalen Ferguson is going to have less and less time in this rotation. And eventually we're just not going to have him anymore. We're going to cut him, We're going to let him walk. He's going to sign somewhere else.
We signed Wolf to a 3-year deal. I think he'll play out that 3-year deal. Or maybe he'll play 2 years minimum.
Yeah. So, all right. We'll take a couple more questions here. Samuel L. Jackson says, Alex, those videos are fire. Thank you both.
Thank you. Continued support. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Tough Puppy also says, safety is my favorite position. Yes, sir. So, Tough Puppy, I hope you are subscribed to the Simply AS10 YouTube channel. Find all those nasty safety highlights over there, man. I can't wait to see some more Deshaun Elliott like nasty hits this season, man. You got to make a compilation video or something like that.
What do you think? I got you. I'm on it. I actually saw a question from our guy Mod Boz. He asked us what we thought about the Najee Harris pick. Yeah, there we go. I loved it. I mean, it was the best possible thing for the Steelers. Who was their running back? Jalen Samuels?
Yeah.
Or what's the other one? Anthony McFarland? I think that was a really good pick from the Steelers. Made sense.
It just feels like the Steelers are so incomplete to me.
Yeah. The line, what are you doing? Just questions all around. I like the pick they got with their tight end, Baby Wrong, Pat Freiermuth from Penn State. They did address the line, but I think it was too little too late.
Right. Agreed. All right. Let's see what else we have here. This one comes from Kill Owen. Says, what position are y'all worried about the most, and what position are y'all worried about the least on the Ravens roster? Worried about the most position? I think I better say by like super default, I'm gonna have to say edge. And I know we just drafted 2 edge guys, but they're raw talents, they're unproven guys, and we haven't signed any of those veterans just yet. So it's like, by default, that's what I'm worried about right now. Can we rush the quarterback? Can we get sack production out of our edge rushers? So that's that. And in terms of what's our least position of worry, I mean, I'd probably say QB. I would say defensive back as well.
Kicker, puncher,
kicker. Well, I would say that cornerback. I think cornerback is good right now. If Tavon Young is healthy,
yeah.
I
mean, I'd be worried about long snapper too. I hope this guy is good because Morgan Cox is no longer a part of the team.
This is true, and we've been spoiled with consistent long snapping for a long
wolf
time.
Pack. How are you going to break up the wolf pack?
Yeah. All right. Next question comes from Love West. Says, is it me or do you have Hollywood in our top 3 wide receivers? Because Sammy is a good wideout. Bateman, you already know how he gets down. And I feel like Tylen would be a monster in the slot. What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible, Alex, that, maybe, 8-10 games into the season that we see guys like Sammy Watkins and Bateman really start to take the reins, in this wide receiver group, and Hollywood kind of falls down that totem pole a little bit? What do you think about that?
Am I experiencing Hollywood Brown slander? Is this what I'm hearing? I hope not. Hollywood is wide receiver 1 for me. 1K plus yards. I'm gonna keep saying it. This dude's breaking out. He's not gonna be wide receiver 3, he's wide receiver 1. Book it.
Wide receiver 1.
That's
heard it here first.
That because he turned it on at the end of the season. He is our most clutch receiver. I mean, now it's Watkins, but last year, I mean, he shows up when it matters. He had drops in the Browns game. Oh, guess what? 4th and 5, touchdown.
Yeah, right about that. I mean, I think that it's very possible for Rashad Bateman to come in here alongside Sammy Watkins and take away a lot of good production from Hollywood Brown, and I think rightfully so. Rashad Bateman is a first-round draft pick. We better feature him in this offense.
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins is a guy we picked up in free agents, and we spent a good amount of cap space on. Not a whole lot, but a good amount. So we better use him. We better use those guys.
Could you see Marquise Brown move to the slot maybe, or just lining up more in the slot?
I could definitely see that. I would be cool with that.
I would.
Me too.
Little underneath routes and just use. What we aren't doing is using his speed. Like let him just catch the ball, 5 yards of space around him. He's zooming past everybody. Like what Tyreek Hill does.
He's shown that he's gotten better at that as well. Because it used to be like he would catch, get open real quick, find a little soft spot, and then he would catch the ball and immediately go down. Now he's trying to like wiggle around. He's trying to fight for that extra yardage, and I think we could probably utilize him a lot more in that role. So I agree with you. All right, so we'll take probably 1, 2 more here. Anonymous says, "Are you guys rocking with Tristan Colon Castillo?"
We've been rocking.
Center?
We've both of us have.
Yeah,
we're big
we've
TCC
been rocking with
fans.
TCC for sure. Tough Puppy, he hits the nail on the head, man. We love TCC. We love him. You guys are going off in the chat right now. You guys are going off. Let me see. Jonathan Washington Jr., I guess talking about Hollywood. I think Marquise is still going to be the number 1 wide receiver just based off of him already having chemistry with Lamar. Bateman and Watkins won't be far behind him, and Duvernay will be 4, but he will make plays. That's another good point, too.
I mean, have you seen his Instagram stories?
Hollywood, yeah.
Dude's working.
Yeah, he is. He's working very, very hard, man. And, I mean, of course, we see this like every offseason, but you just love to see the progression. You love to see the progression, just them continuing to stay on the grind. And we saw, like I said, strides from Hollywood Brown last season, like later in the season. So we're very excited to see if he can pick up where he left off. Mm-hmm. All right. So I think
that's it.
We have one last one. This one's coming from Mark Lopez. He says, "Where does Bateman and Wallace rank on the wide receiving core?" So
Bateman 3, Wallace 5.
Bateman 3, Wallace 5. So you're going
Hollywood Watkins,
Brown,
Bateman,
Sammy Watkins, Bateman, number 4,
Duvernay,
Duvie, and then 5 would be Wallace.
Yeah.
And 6 Prochet.
Or Boykin. I'm not throwing Boykin away because the dude most of his catches were touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. So he actually has some pretty decent production, yeah.
Right. So, but I'm putting Bateman at 3 because I don't want, unless he has a really good preseason. But I mean, Hollywood and Watkins they've shown it. Watkins literally has a ring. Bateman is not going over Watkins starting the season, but he's going to get his play time. Yeah. So, competition breeds excellence.
It does, and I think that's what we started off this episode with. We were saying like having those, more wide receivers in the wide receiving core, iron sharpens iron. So we're gonna see a lot better. I think we're gonna see a lot more production out of the wide receiving core. Now, of course, that all falls down on what Greg Roman and Keith Williams and T. Martin and all those guys can put together. But I have faith. And you guys should have faith too. This offseason is not going as bad as a lot of you guys think it is. I think the Ravens have made some pretty good moves, and now this is the time period where it's like, now we wait. Okay, we wait for August, September to roll around. Preseason, we'll really see what this team is working with.
All about. I'm with it.
What we're all about, But with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap tonight. This has been episode 48 of the Purple Rain podcast. Before you guys go, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you have not. And if you scan that QR code right above me, it'll take you right to our official Instagram page where you can follow us and get every update for things going on with Purple Rain and Baltimore Ravens. But just last thing, wrapping us up. My guy Simply AS10 over there. You can find him on Twitter or Instagram if you want to follow him at Simply AS10 on Twitter or on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. Shoot him a follow, shoot him a DM, shoot him a mention. He loves talking to you guys just like I do. Yes. Yeah. Twitter and Instagram, you can find me at Sutton Def. Follow me, DM me, mention me. My guy Darius does it all the time. He's always reaching out to me. I got a lot of guys who, love to chop it up with me and stuff. I love to have conversations with you guys about Ravens football, NFL football, anything else, man. You guys know I'm into UFC big, so that too. But big shout out to you guys. We appreciate all of you guys for joining the live stream tonight. And with that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you for coming out to episode 40 at the Purple Rain podcast. I have a lot more energy than I did on last Thursday. We were just nonchalant with this when to get it over. But a big thank you to everybody coming through. And as always, as our guy, Devon Johnson, says, stay positive, test negative, and what else?
And call God, man. Always. And we're going to catch you guys in the next one.